On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks' new offense is going to revolutionize Dallas Mavericks basketball. It can be completely different than what we've seen before, and I think it's the right move. We'll talk about that and more in today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Dog, on 5.
Explain yourself.
All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being every day, making Locked On Mavs your first listen, and the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network out there. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. If your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets. If that bet wins across the app, head to FanDuel.com to get started. And joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the We Back boy, the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
We get to see Cooper Flagg play basketball today.
We're back.
Gosh, this is so good.
Game
Get to
day.
see Cooper and AD together. We get to see the big front court together. We get to see, it feels like people have been raving so much about D'Lo and Camp and Kidd and other players. Somehow, well, he's been playing. Get to see Dennis play some basketball in a Mavs jersey again. It's fun. Let's do this in Dickies Arena. Fort Worth, stand up.
Always got to start with Dickies.
Yeehaw. What if we had Grady Dick playing in Dickies?
Wearing Dickies. Just blew your mind.
Eating Dickies barbecue?
No.
At halftime?
All the Dickies. With Dick Vitale. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the Mavs training camp. It's over, but Jason Kidd said it's not. Training camp is not over, according to Jason Kidd.
Oh.
We're talking about all the things we learned from training camp. We're going to talk about the Mavs, everything they've been talking about, their depth, their defense, their size. We're going to talk about what the things that the Mavs need to do against OKC in the first game, including the key to the game that Jason Kidd said before that had me cracking up. Well, let's start here. One of the things we learned from Mavs training camp and Mavs preseason is that they are running this new offense. We were said all offseason, they have to change what they do. They cannot go into this season with the exact same formula, the same exact format that we've seen in the past, because the Luka offense, the Kyrie offense, the offense before was literally, even the Brunson offense was just one guy handles the ball, dribbles a bunch, and creates an open shot for somebody else. And there's actions off of that, obviously. They were running an offense, right? It's not like it was literally just on him. But sometimes it was just on the one player, because then, like, Brandon Williams would come in, or McKinley Wright would get thrown in, and all of a sudden they would be ISOing and doing the exact same things. The offense had to change. And we've been hearing from Jason Kidd, from the Mavs players, from all the reports and everything, that the Mavs are running this new offense that Jay Triano, one of the Mavs' new assistant coaches, used to coach the Sacramento Kings, and he was one of the guys that was integral into creating the offense that the Beam Team Kings, the only Kings team that was good over the last 40 years. Sorry, Matt George. That he was in charge of that offense. And so now he's bringing it over here. And one of the big things is that they want to use AD like a hub in the offense, like they've used Sabonis in the past.
I thought you were going to keep going. I was like, all right.
I was dropping it off. That was a dribble handoff, just like what Sabonis does all the time.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of DHOs in this new Mavs offense. You might, see the letters DHO mentioned on social media or whatever. That's just dribble handoff. It's going to look different. This is what we've been saying this whole time. This team, the offense, how they run, everything is going to look different. And that's just, Cooper Flagg is going to look different than everything we've been used to watching the past 7 years. Not just Luka in a Mavs jersey, but the way the offense is ran. Even the defensive time was set up a certain way with Luka and Kyrie on the floor. It's just completely different now. So it's kind of just like wiping the slate clean, and it's just like, all right, all your Mavs opinions kind of just start over now in this new system. So when you look at Sacramento, what Triano is doing stuff in Sacramento is running that Domantas Sabonis hub there you can work, you watch the Kings, you can watch Sabonis in a bunch of different spots on the floor, but everything, it's different when you're running the offense through a big compared to your primary ball handler. And so you can run a lot of dribble handoffs, like we said, and we're going to see that a million times. Kidd referenced the other day, I forgot what day it was, But he referenced whenever they traded Fox and they didn't have like that true point guard on their team, kind of what their offense and stuff looked like then. You're just going to see a lot more movement, and you're going to hear that talked about a lot is, man, we're going to be, moving the ball more and passing the ball more. You can't take all of these comments as shots towards Luka. It's not. Some people will try to read into them like, more movements.
Can I tell you what Lively said though?
Tell us what Lively said.
Lively was asked about the new offense and what are some things to look out for. He said, a lot of movement. We're not just sitting watching somebody back someone down or anything like that.
And see, I
hard for
think,
me to not read into that one, but I think he was talking about, you're not watching somebody post up. You're not going to throw it down to Anthony Davis and have him just post up for 10 seconds out of the shot clock and do that. They're going to be starting stuff early in the clock.
But there is a lot of truth to that too, of like, that was part of the Luka offense and it worked at a very high level. So it's just a different style of offense. There's going to be more movement. There's going to be more ball movement, more cutting. You're not going to have the players standing around as much. They're going to want to create a lot of space for Katie. They're going to want to create a lot of space for AD to go to work, whether he catches it on the elbow or he catches it down in the dunker spot or the block or something. They're going to want to spread the floor out to give him some space and then run the offense and stuff through him, getting some actions going off ball and getting some dribble handoffs, towards the top of the key there. So
we don't see one dribble handoff in the preseason game. I'm going to be flabbergasted.
First one, you gotta like nerd out with the tweet though. We have a left elbow dribble handoff with Anthony Davis to Klay Thompson, screen action down to. Those tweets always like do great on social media. People love those clips, by the way.
I mean, we're seeing something new with the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Kidd mentioned about the offense. He said the positions are interchangeable. We have D live on the perimeter sometimes, which I think is an interesting note because the Mavs have run this offense where the two wings are kind of interchangeable, and maybe the second ball handler is interchangeable with the wings, but it was like a center because like
all these changes, and I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
I love that clip.
We still had Dwight Powell running, running center or Dwight Powell like center running, and then you had a ball handler, and then you had like three wings that were just like running around doing the same things on the perimeter. Sometimes they'd run dribble handoff, sometimes they would run just like ball screens. But it's gonna be different. We're gonna have Dereck Lively on the perimeter sometimes. Anthony Davis is gonna be on the perimeter sometimes. Kid basically said that Anthony Davis can play in all five spots. I don't think he meant positions. I think he meant like both blocks, both elbows, and the top of the key to run all kinds of different things. Because he was talking about that in the sense that he's going to be the hub, like what Sabonis has been for the Kings, and that really works for them. The Kings have had a really good offense, and you're basically putting your big in a position to make decisions, and to have him be used as like this human shield screen in the middle of the floor where guys can just run off of him, and so you're not having to just come and run a screen to a ball handler, but like Anthony Davis is the ball handler, and then you bring the screen like to him, basically.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see when you run this type of offense, and then obviously Sabonis played with other bigs, and but he also ran as the five a lot of times too. But I'm fascinated to see with what teams do with Dereck Lively on offense, like when Dallas is on offense, because the whole key to a lot of this is creating the space for AD to kind of go to work there at the elbow or lower block, wherever mid range there. But you're not going to have that space unless someone really respects Dereck Lively shooting from the corner, and that's where
He'll have space.
Well, yes, he'll have space. That's where we could get some flashbacks to the early Dorian Finney-Smith days where teams would kind of just dare him to shoot as a young player in the league, and it took a little bit for him to gain enough respect where then they couldn't like sag off on him as much as they did. So I want to see early on. We could see a lot of Dereck Lively 3-point attempts early on, which would be kind of cool to see. Because teams might be, hey, whoever's helping off Lively, wherever he's at, trying to spread the floor with AD at the elbow, then just help off. That's the defensive help that we want. Who cares if he shoots the corner three? And he's going to have to take advantage of that, and we'll see. And that's something different. We haven't got to see it yet.
Kid mentioned playing faster, which is
yes,
a classic, just a classic like coach preseason thing. Every coach wants to play faster, but I believe him this time. I think that I
don't always tell you guys the truth.
I think he was telling the truth this time because they are going to have to play faster. They've got all these guys that can handle the ball. They can get the ball on a rebound. There's going to be multiple ball handlers. That's something that was said multiple times during training camp. So we're going to see this. Multiple ball handlers. Anybody that gets a rebound, you push it in transition so that there's not any wasted time, because that would happen in the past where a Dwight Powell would get a rebound and wait to like look around and pass it to the nearest ball handler, right? Like that took 3 or 4 seconds off the clock, where instead you could be almost down the floor by then. This team is going to have to rely on stuff like that because they have some more athletes. They have more ball handlers.
D'Lo talked about how AD liked to get out and run too,
yes.
Referencing their LA days.
When did he say that?
I think he said that at media day when we talked to him.
Dogs.
That's right. He did. He said it when he said it to us at media day. That's our new.
That's our new Brunson.
Shout out to you for remembering that. How many times we referenced Brunson told us?
Yeah.
Coming up, what else did we learn from training camp? I think we learned a couple things about what Kidd wants to do in preseason and how he says that training camp is not over. I'll tell you why coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness. The brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's our most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move. Whether you like running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors, it's not just sitting and riding a bike anymore. Peloton has all kinds of different things. I love that it helps you suggest the right weights. It helps you track your reps, correct your form, making every rep safer and smarter. That's the thing I like about a personal trainer. And if you have that at home, how awesome is that? The swivel screen is a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat, which is awesome too. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. It's the word one, peloton.com to get the Peloton cross-training Tread Plus today.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. We appreciate you for checking out the show. Check the QR code for different ways to follow us. Social media all over the place, at Locked On Mavs, at Nick Van Exit, at Isaac L. Harris, Isaac L. Harris _, Isaac _
Shut
Harris.
up.
There's all kinds of different ones. And we also have our text line. You can get a link to that with the QR code as well. Or we'll text you updates during the game, during any kind of rumor that we see. We'll text you. It's a good way to follow the show, support the show. Appreciate everybody that has been subscribed there. Strong group over there. We've had a strong group for like over a year, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Doing
strong.
doing the text line. It's been awesome. All right, Isaac, we've been talking about training camp. And one of the things that I took away from training camp was Jason Kidd said at practice on Sunday, we're looking at training camp to end on October 21st, which is the day before the regular season starts. He really is taking this whole thing and saying, all right, well, we're taking this whole thing and approaching it like training camp, because we're always learning, always trying to get better and evaluating who we have on the roster and all that. Like, I don't think we're going to know who's making this roster until the 21st.
Yeah. Training camp didn't end in Vancouver. Keeps going. So.
Is training camp like in our hearts though? You know what I mean? Like, it's really the attitude and position of your heart is training camp.
It's at Dickies Arena.
It's at Dickies. It's at the practice facility today. It's at all kinds of places.
Wherever it is. But they have some, spots on the roster, especially, they got the open two-way spot. Yeah. You never know who could be fighting. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. has gotten multiple references from Jason Kidd about how well he's looked in camp.
Playing like a star.
Playing like a star.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. And I was like, oh, ears perked up. What a career arc for Dennis if he turns into like a legit star. Brandon Williams, gets hurt early on.
He practiced on Sunday.
Yeah, you put in the text today to our text line about how he practiced today, but that anytime something like that he gets hurt early on, that just opens the door a little bit for a little bit more playing time for Dennis Smith Jr. with some of those guys, or a Ryan Nembhard. I mean. Saw some people running with the Ryan Nembhard stuff.
Do we want to talk about this? So Jason Kidd has said that so he plays a blue team and a white team in practice and training camp. The white team is the backups. He's been referencing the white team a lot. He's like, the white team thinks that they can be starters, and the white team's given the blue team business. The blue team is normally starters, and the blue team has been Dereck Lively, Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, and Ryan Nembhard. How are you taking that? Like, how are you processing that information?
I don't always tell
Is
you
that
guys
the starting
truth.
lineup? Is that the starting lineup?
I don't always tell you guys the truth.
Yeah. No. D'Lo's gonna. I think.
Now we're allowed to pick and choose which.
No, we're figuring out when. I don't know when. No, I think D'Lo's going to be the starter, and I'd still expect Klay to be the starter. But it was fun to see some people run with the right hand Mart stuff. I'm like, oh, look at him. He's going to be a starter. It's like, I like him, but don't think he's going to be a starter. No.
Kid does this. He did this with Omax last year. He likes to just see different looks, and he probably just wanted to see like a real ball handler, like playmaker in that spot. And to see
2 years ago, he started Omax in preseason. We're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I remember me getting on the pod. I'm like, dude, I'm a big fan of Omax. I know, but this is kind of early. And now
it happens every year that there's somebody where you're like, I didn't expect that player. I think the other thing that we learned about what Jason Kidd wants to do in preseason, as he said this on Sunday at training camp, or at everything is training camp until the 21st. But
yes.
He said it at practice. We want to look at different combinations in preseason. So he wants to try stuff. He wants to try different combinations. I think that's what preseason should be for. I bet we'll see the big lineup with PJ Flagg, Lively, and AD. I bet we'll see smaller lineups. I bet we'll see Max Christie with the starter. I bet we'll see all kinds of things.
Yeah. No, I expect to see a lot of different things, and especially when you're installing new offense and all of that. But the priority, I think one of my things for takeaway from the Vancouver week, let me just say that instead of takeaway from training camp.
That week of training camp.
The Canada week. This team was built for defense, and we were talking about the other day. It's like, hey, you got to be at least top 10. Expecting top 5. How high can they be in a defensive rating and stuff this upcoming season? But that was, the overwhelming talk of the Vancouver week was just the focus on defense and how good they want to be defensively. And I think this will be one of the, if we're talking like the top 3 things to track for the Mavs this season, as the season goes along, this is going to be in my top 3 of how good are they defensively, because they've committed so much to it, roster wise, game plan wise, all the stuff. It's part of the vision. And we know when you have a vision like that, fortune favors it because it's bold, and defense wins championships. So I just want to see, that's something I'm always going to track, is where they're at in the defensive rating kind of rankings and stuff. And how many times, I think this is something I'm going to track too, how many times they hold an opponent under 100 points.
Yeah, for sure. Because they should. And everybody was talking about how tough their back line is. Lively, AD. I mean, I was watching a Slightly Biased video where he was going through it, and he's like, these guys, nobody should score on these guys. Lively, the Mavericks were 10 points per 100 possessions better defensively when Dereck Lively was on the court last year without Anthony Davis. Now you had Anthony Davis. Have you seen some? I've seen some of the Lakers fans have been posting like clips of really good AD defense. I've been trying to repost all of them I can, because you just watch them and you go, this is a different defender. This is a defensive player of the year defender. The Mavs have not had anybody like this.
You talking about AD or Ayton?
AD. Did I say Ayton?
No, I want to clarify.
They've already turned on Ayton. Have you seen this?
There's no way. Come on.
They turned on him already.
Have they really?
I saw some frustration about him.
I saw he had a big preseason game.
It happened. Kid also mentioned that everybody participated except for Gafford and Kyrie on practice on Sunday. So that means that Exum practiced, which is good, because during the Canada week of training camp, he did not practice. So that's good to hear too. He also mentioned that this group talks a little bit more. I don't have to pull it out of them. What do you think that says about like the culture of this team?
I think that's always a good thing. I can't think of it being any sort of bad thing or negative side. You always want a lot of communication, so that's cool.
I think they have vets, and I just think they have a lot of like good team players. You think about Dereck Lively, and I was listening to him talk after training camp day 3, and you're just like, man, just remember how like poised he is, how much a good of a decision maker he is on offense, how he always learned from each game that he played, where he would remember that one time he got beat by Bam really bad, and then like the next possession he didn't get beat by him again the whole rest of the game. You're just like, he just learned so fast. Everybody said the same thing about Cooper Flagg, that he's just such a good team player, will fit into a spot, will fit into exactly what he needs to do. PJ said this about Flagg. He said he's going to fit in very well with our system and with our group of guys. He said, I can't wait to see him go against other guys in the league. He can basically do everything on the floor. You just have a bunch of really good team guys. Klay's obviously been with a bunch of really good teams. Klay seems super vocal. He seems really stoked to be back playing basketball. But
you think about their personalities too. There's not a lot of like quieter personalities as far as like outside of like the rookies, but they're just like kind of like learning the ropes. Like you think about even like media day, all the guys laughing, and I mean how they're all just talking and stuff. I'm trying to go through the roster in my head right now. Maybe Caleb Martin. Just in our short time, like around the guys, he seems a little quieter, I guess. But
I mean, PJ can be, but then you get the standing on business moment. You get.
It just seems like even like a guy like Kyrie who's not in there and he's hurt and stuff. I mean, everything you hear is like how vocal he is and leadership wise and everything with the guys. And like you said, vets are on there. Guys have won titles before. They got rings, all right? So they know how important communication is. So, early on, first day of camp, they're trying to implement and get this communication going. So I think it's a good thing. I think we could see the vibes back, the immaculate vibes.
Do I bring back the drop? I think we have.
No, we got to wait for a new one. Najee will give everybody a new one here in a couple weeks. Like, dude, the vibes right now, they're just like crazy.
I don't know if Najee's ever said, dude, the vibes. Dude, the vibes.
Dog. All of us, all five.
Dogs, the vibes.
You got that dog in you. It's no key. Got to be born with it. Shout out to everybody.
The rest of that clip, by the way, he goes on, shout out to everybody. Kessler, Omax. It's like all the players that aren't on the team anymore.
I just want to say this. I enjoyed a decent amount of the comments on our Najee interview on YouTube. They're good. Very good.
Coming up, what do the Mavs need to do against OKC in the preseason opener? Jason Kidd had an incredible key to the game. We'll talk about what that is and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you cannot miss. If you're a new customer, you can bet just $5 to get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app, all over the place. Cowboys get a win against the Jets. Jets are awful. Cowboys 3.5-point favorite against the Panthers in Carolina. Did you see the story where there was a podcast the Panthers podcast that quit because their team is too bad?
I did, and they have a big win today.
Yeah, if that tells you anything, then maybe the Cowboys would win. Cowboys podcast. They look pretty good here. So go check out that. If you feel real confident in that one, use that $5 and put it down on anything. And if you're a new customer, you can get that extra bonus money. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. It's FanDuel.com. Please gamble responsibly.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
That was Dennis. All right, Isaac. Jason Kidd was asked, what kind of test will this be against the defending champs in preseason? And he had an incredible key to the game that I just could not avoid. He said, it's preseason. That's all he said. They blew off the question.
I don't even know who's playing. I don't even know who's playing for OKC.
Basically, we don't know because OKC played on Sunday, so they're playing a back-to-back. They played in Charlotte.
Oh gosh.
They played in Charlotte on Sunday, and now they're playing in Fort Worth. And so,
wow.
I don't know.
Jason Gallagher might be suiting up for him.
I was going to say, we don't know. Ryan Stiles is going to get in. We don't know who's going to play. We usually don't know until the day of. They don't have injury reports during the preseason from what I've seen so far. So anything could happen in this game. But
40-minute game for Topic.
But they do still have good perimeter defenders. So to me, like if we're just going to go through what are the things we want to see in this game, first thing I want to see is Cooper Flagg. I want to see how he looks athletically against some of these guys. If like a Cason Wallace plays, can he dribble against a Cason Wallace? Can he dribble against if Jalen Williams plays? Or if Lou Dort plays, how does he look against those guys if they're giving him ball pressure? Those are the kinds of things that I'm looking at real early.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see the three-man combo of Cooper, AD, and Lively. I just want to see it on the floor. I want to see the size of it. Defensively, I want to see some of the defensive schemes that they roll with, especially guarding the pick and roll. And just, yeah, I'm fascinated by it. With this being like a kind of a slate clean type of thing and kind of learning more just what they want to do with some of the pieces on the roster. And everything you said about Cooper, how comfortable is Cooper handling the ball? Does Jason Kidd really want to make him uncomfortable still in the preseason and all of that? And I think I've been saying this a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of floor general type of D'Lo to where he's going to be getting everybody involved and all the stuff.
Jason Kidd and everybody has said good things about D'Angelo Russell. That he's been one of the most vocal players in training camp, and that he's a vet. He's been in the league 10 years. Every time I think about that, it still blows me away that he's like D'Lo's like a vet in the league now.
He is. You can't send me funny things while we're recording. Nick just texted me a funny thing, and now I'm just like all thrown off.
The Mavs will release their game notes, which have like the probable starters, and somebody always runs with it as like these are the starters. That's not always the case. Jason Kidd will change it. He'll do whatever. And so the game notes say that D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Lively will start, but we don't know. Could be anything.
Which is what that's what I think will end up happening.
I think so too.
One of the things with training camp up in Canada was just the debut of AD's goggles or his glasses, and just hearing him talk about it. And Dwayne asked him if he has multiple pairs, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna break some this season." And
I'm putting that as a board bet.
How many glasses?
How many he breaks?
But you know, it's just it's a new look. Obviously, AD. It was the glasses and the Weight Watchers Club that was one of the talks of the town during the Vancouver week. And honestly, I'm more worried about the glasses than I am the weight. It just seems so annoying to play with. And I remember and some people's gonna get whatever. When 2020. Or 2021 when we were still wearing masks and stuff a lot. I remember wearing a mask playing pickup basketball multiple times. And I was like, man, this is kind of like weird to get used to, like wearing a mask while you're playing basketball. But then it's like, all right, it's part of it. We got to do it. And it's kind of what we need to do right now. But I really want to play ball. Totally different, I know, with glasses. But it's just, I don't know. It just feels weird to wear glasses while you're playing basketball. But I guess he's going to dominate with them.
You remember that like pregame where Luka wore that mask and just like threw it.
Yes.
He threw it off. Like it is tough to like play with something if you're not used to it, to have something on your face. Now, luckily, Anthony Davis is used to having something on his face. It's like part of his persona.
I just need his eyes protected at all cost. And
the doctor mandated he has these goggles.
Yeah. You know who needs goggles probably is Dwight Powell, as much as he gets hit in the face. Dwight's going to be like, where's my glasses? This
Dwight has worn goggles in the past, hasn't he?
I think he has. No, I think he has.
Definitely see Dwight Powell with goggles.
Yeah.
Max Christie spoke at practice today and was asked about Cooper Flagg. He said he picks things up very quick. He can obviously only add. There's no diminishing with him here. He's going to add to our offense and our defense as well. And I just think that it's good. Like we've said that all offseason. He's going to be additive to the offense and the defense. Like he's going to be very good on both sides. He's going to do things on both ends. But to have a player say that, to say, hey, it's not like he's going to hold us back in any way at all. He's only going to add things to both sides of the ball. I think is cool and good to hear.
I'm glad he can be additive. We've said this multiple times over the offseason. Cooper Flagg's the best player they could have realistically gotten talent-wise this offseason to like upgrade their roster.
Playing right now, not like in 5 years. Like
to where we went into the offseason and it's like, all right, what type of upgrades are they going to make on the roster? The Kyrie replacement? Are they going to get another wing? How are they going to do this? What's the extension situation? So they're going to make a run at KD and all this stuff. And I get it. You know, if they made a run at KD's better than Cooper Flagg right now. I get all of that. But realistically, who you could have traded for or who you could have signed, Cooper Flagg is better than any of those options. Like just talent-wise right now.
Better than Kobe White?
Yeah, I think so. I think for like what and I'm a big Kobe White fan, I do think they should have went after him, but I do, yeah. Because, and that's the part of it of like, you have all these, the AD part, Kyrie going to come back, and you kind of have this system, an offensive system. Like they're creating this offense or kind of, bringing it over from Sacramento around AD, not Cooper Flagg. So this is, now you're adding Cooper Flagg to it. Your next like franchise cornerstone player. And he's just like the upgrade over all the other stuff. But you also kind of want to start putting things in place for him to kind of take that mantle at some point. or baton, or is it mantle? Take that mantle.
Take up the mantle.
Take up the mantle. I don't know.
Mantle is right. You got that one right.
All right, sweet, cool.
Dereck Lively. One of the other things we learned from training camp is he swears he's 7'3", that he was 7'2" last year, didn't get remeasured. He's still officially listed at 7'1", but he swears he was 7'2" last year, grew another inch this offseason that he's 7'3", and I think that's something that we'll just watch.
I think this, yes. I think the Spurs still list Wemby at like what, 7'3", 7'4", and I swear he looks taller.
I mean, it's something about him being skinnier too.
Yeah,
he's officially 7'3".
Have you seen any tweets about how good he looks right now?
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen clips in like in their version of Fan Jam. Basically, he bodied Luke Cornett, and you're like, oh my gosh, like all right.
Yeah, now we know why AD got those extra 15.
But I saw a photo of Victor Wembanyama next to Rachel Demita, who's there. Who's like one of their reporters. She used to do like the 2K stuff. But like from last year and this year, and like he looks way bigger than her this year than he did last year.
Oh crap!
If you use her as the measuring stick.
I will say though, and I don't want to be like the pessimist about this. When people start to get taller, I still just get worried about it. Like it feels like the taller you are, the more injuries that come in your career. And I hope I'm wrong about the Wemby stuff. I hope he's healthy. And it's so much fun to watch it because he is one of the most, if not the most fun player to watch because of just what all he can do. And kind of the same with like Lively of like, hey, that's fun that he's like 7'3". I just hope that it's not just, I don't know. That's just my only thing is just, you don't see a clean bill of health for guys that tall very often.
True. Lively also was asked, how long has he been playing 5-on-5? Because this is one of the things we wanted to learn from training camp and media day and everything is like how healthy was he? And he's always said, anytime he's asked, he was asked multiple times during the Canada training camp. He feels strong, he feels good, feels great. But he couldn't name a date when he started playing 5-on-5, but he said he's been playing it for a few weeks now. That is not a long time to me, and so I'm wondering if they will limit his minutes during preseason. That's the thing I'm definitely watching.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I am curious of like whose minutes do they limit in the preseason? Is it AD, Lively? Is it all the vets? Yeah, I don't know. I'll be how healthy with Buell practicing on Sunday. That was a hamstring thing last week. So how healthy does he look this preseason? Because we get 4 games, right? 5 games, 4 games.
The Lakers play 6.
Woof.
Not weird.
That's a lot.
That's what we want to learn in preseason. That's what we've learned in training camp so far. Let us know in the comments on YouTube or wherever. Check the QR code for different ways to follow the show. We'll be back tomorrow with a breakdown of the game. Slightly and I will have you covered after the game. Guys, thanks for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.